Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that is crucial, something that is very important. Now, it is the 12th of December, 2021. We've been through a pandemic, and one of the things that is happening now is a lot of people are getting stressed out. Why? It's the holiday season and it's stressing people out. My thing is, if it's a holiday, you're not supposed to be stressed out. And unfortunately, I'm in a lot of groups with a lot of women, mostly Facebook groups, etc., different forums, and I'm finding these things to be recurring complaints. I'm stressed out. My relatives are coming. I have to cook for the holidays. I haven't figured out what to buy, what gifts to buy, etc., etc. Here is one way not to be stressed out during the holiday season, and that is to set boundaries. Like, boundaries, what's that got to do with the holidays? Isn't it supposed to be a time of loving and giving and sharing, etc.? Yes, it is. But just like anything else, extremism in any form is not good. Extremism in any form is counterproductive to any type of happy life. So on the Mentor of Life podcast, some of the things I talk about is bringing new solutions to these problems that we see very commonly in society that prevent us from living our best life, that prevent us from being happy, that we just come to accept as being, oh well, that's the way things should be. Meanwhile, that is not the way things should be. Things can be better. So I'm going to talk about what setting boundaries during the holidays looks like and what that can look like for you. But before that, I'm going to share a little story. A few years ago at a family gathering, because these are sometimes we have to set boundaries with family members. At a family gathering, somebody made a statement which I disagreed with. Instead of the person to disagree with me quietly or say no, I don't agree, the person jumped out of his seat and started yelling. Instead of engaging, I just left and I walked away to another part of the house and I just completely ignored the person. Guess what happened after that? The person continued yelling and screaming and talking because obviously there were other people in audience. But guess what? I decided, you know what? I don't have to put up with this. I don't have to put up with somebody shouting at me because they can't take the fact that there's another person, a younger person, that's going to counter something that they've said. That brings me to point number one. At family gatherings, you do not have to engage in conversations that leave you feeling unhappy. Any discussions. A lot of people go to their family, and especially in the US of today, it's probably been the same way for a lot of years, but a lot of people are politically polarized. So what happens? They go to a family gathering and guess what? They get into this political discussion. They get into these debates. They get into these arguments that leave them feeling bad. Let me tell you something. Do yourself a favor and stay away from these discussions. You can say, if somebody says, so what do you think about blah, blah, blah? You can say, I'm going to have some pie now. You can actually decide not to engage with somebody. Don't attend every argument that you're invited to. There's no point. If you want to reduce your stress during the holidays and set boundaries, one of the ways to do it is to decide that at family gatherings, you're not going to engage in any type of discussion that's going to leave you feeling unhappy. That's number one. Number two, again, at family gatherings, you don't have to eat things that you don't want just to make other people happy. Oh, just have some cake. Oh, just have some steak, but I'm a vegan. Oh, just have some cake, but I'm eating keto. Oh, just have some bread. I'm gluten-free, right? You get to decide what you're going to eat and what you're not going to eat. And there are people who feel that, oh, well, it's the holidays, you can do whatever you want. Maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you want to eat your broccoli or whatever. Go ahead and eat your broccoli. Don't feel you have to eat things you don't want to eat just to make somebody happy, because you end up making yourself happy. So you decide from the beginning, it's a family gathering. Guess what? I'm going to go and I'm going to have whatever it is you decided you're going to have, right? Or not have whatever you decided you're going to have. But this is not me saying don't eat cake or don't eat bread. No, this is me saying if it's something that's going to make you unhappy for eating it, then don't eat it. There is no need, there is no point making yourself unhappy, eating something that you're going to poop out anyway just to make other people happy and you yourself are unhappy. That's another boundary you can set. Boundaries around this one is a boundary around discussions you will or will not have, and another is boundaries around what you will or will not eat. Now, number 3, and this is really huge and really important, you do not have to spend your holidays with toxic relatives. But we always do this. Yeah, and then when you leave, you have to go home and decompress because everybody just annoyed you. You don't have to spend your holiday with toxic relatives. You're an adult. You obviously have a place to live. Spend your holidays there. It's like, well, they won't like it. If there are toxic people who constantly gaslight you, make you feel bad about yourself, your achievements, what you're doing, not doing, criticize you, etc., you do not have to spend your holidays with toxic relatives. There's no need, there's no point, and you will just end up making yourself unhappy. So decide now. You know what? This is my holiday. Holiday, look up the meaning of holiday. Holiday is not supposed to be synonymous with stress at all. Some people are like, well, we just do it for the holidays and then it's over. But why? Why keep doing that? So you will never have a memory of a holiday you enjoy because you keep spending these holidays with toxic relatives that don't give a hoot about you, but they just want to keep saying what they say, doing what they do. They don't have self-awareness, etc., and they make you feel bad and feel damaged. So now your holiday is no longer a holiday, but a horrible day. So instead of having a horrible day, you do not have to spend your holiday with toxic relatives. Try it and see. Stay in your house. Where are you going? Sit down, have your own holiday with yourself, your family, whatever. Sometimes, look, there's a saying that goes, it's better to be alone than be in bad company. Now, some people feel it's better to be in bad company than to be alone, but I beg to differ. You can stress yourself on your own. Why would you go to seek out company that will stress you? That is something that has never ever made sense to me. Do not be one of those people that spend your holidays with toxic relatives all the time just to make them happy, just so you can say you spend the holidays with them. You can do something different. It's not by force. It's not a law that you have to spend your holidays with people who treat you badly. Now, number 4, draw boundaries around your spending. Because it's come to the end of the year, guess what? You're going to have bills to pay in January too. Draw boundaries around your spending. There's a saying that goes, do not borrow money you don't have to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't like. Some of the people, I hear people going on about how, oh, these people never buy me any gifts and I always buy them good gifts. Stop buying them gifts then. It's not by force. A lot of these things that we think we have to do, we don't. And then when we don't do them, life just goes on. The sky doesn't fall on your head. You don't become, you don't shrivel into a crisp and die. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, if somebody's always buying you cheap gifts and you expect them to buy you expensive gifts and you don't want to buy them expensive gifts anymore, then don't. Also, on the flip side, if you're buying people gifts just to get gifts, then you already lost the point, so you might as well just not do it, right? But draw boundaries around your spending. Don't feel like, oh, because the holidays I can splurge. If you cannot afford to splurge, then don't splurge. If you can and you want to, oh, please, by all means, go ahead. I'm also somebody who is a great proponent of enjoying life. I'm not telling you to deprive yourself, but if you only have $100 to spend on the holiday, manage your $100 like that. Okay, there's no point trying to borrow money and then have to pay like high amounts of interest and for what, right? Don't borrow money you don't have to buy things you don't need to impress people you don't even like. Hello, there's no point. Number 5, another way to set boundaries, let peace be your guide as opposed to traditions that no longer serve you or your family or anyone's overall well-being. So, well, we always do this, but you don't like to do it anymore. We always go to this person's for the holidays, but for the past 3 years you've been going, every time you go, they insult you. They ask you, why aren't you a stay-at-home mom and your kids need more of you? Or they say, why do you still work that job? After all, you should be a stay-at-home mom. Or they say, why aren't you a specialist? Why are you a primary care doctor? These things are things that I've actually heard that people's relatives have said to them, and I'm like, why do you spend time with these people? Oh, because we've always done it. Guess what? having always done something doesn't mean you have to continue doing it when you realize that it is disempowering to you. It's making you unhappy. Because if you keep doing these things, you will keep on being stressed over the holiday. It's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. If you if you keep doing things, that are not working for you anymore. Let's say once upon a time, you used to cook for everybody for Thanksgiving. But now, maybe over the time you got sick. Let's say you got long COVID. Now, people expect you to cook for hours. No, sit down in their houses. You know what? I have long COVID this year. I'm done. I'm not cooking for everybody. I'll be tired. But some people will actually go out of their way to stress themselves out because we've always done it like this. Yes, and it's good to have traditions, right? On the flip side, I'm not saying don't have traditions. But if something is standing in the way of your tradition, common sense, peace of mind, and practicality are more sensible than just going with the tradition for the sake of the tradition. The tradition is supposed to make you happy. The tradition was made for you, not you for the tradition. We have a tradition of baking every year. And there was one year where we baked a cake. And the next year I was like, you know what? Baking this cake, after a while I wasn't enjoying it anymore. The work I used to bake it was not up to the enjoyment of the cake. So what did I do next year? I'm like, you know what, we're not baking a cake. We're going to look up simple recipes for cookies. The reason why we're baking this cake is not really for food. It's to have time, to spend time enjoying the skill of baking together. So now everybody knows, even if we're going to bake a cake, it's going to be a very simple cake that we can bake in like a few minutes, or cookies, right? And everybody has their recipes of what they want to bake. And so that we're not spending the whole day baking, getting stressed out, getting, frustrated. You're supposed to enjoy your traditions. You're supposed to enjoy your traditions. If your tradition is not letting you enjoy your holiday, then you need to throw the tradition away. Yeah, tell them I said so. Anyway, number 6, another way of drawing boundaries is don't overcommit by saying yes to more than you can handle. Oh, will you cook? Will you bake blah, blah, blah for us this year? You know that you're on call the day before, you're on call the day after, and that's the one day you have to rest, and you say yes. Why? No. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Holiday does not mean horrible day. Holiday does not mean stress. In fact, in countries outside of America, when you tell people I'm going on holiday, it means I'm going on vacation. A holiday is a vacation. A holiday is supposed to be a vacation. But in America, it's like when we say holiday, we mean certain days, and we call vacation something else. But in other parts of the world, holiday and vacation are the same thing. So say I'm going on holiday. Think of it like that. Your holiday is supposed to be a vacation for you, not a time of stress, strain, worry, and struggle. So, how not to be stressed during the holidays? Set boundaries. I'm going to recap my points again. Number 1, at family gatherings, you do not have to engage with discussions that make you unhappy. Number 2, you don't have to eat things that don't make you happy, just because things you don't want to, just to make others happy, or because somebody cooked it. You still don't have to eat it because somebody cooked it. They chose to cook it. You can choose not to eat it. You're a freaking adult, and so are they. Number 3, you don't have to spend your holidays with toxic relatives. Number 4, draw boundaries around your spending. Number 5, let peace of mind and practicality, choose peace of mind and practicality over traditions. Number 6, don't overcommit by saying yes to things that you cannot handle. Now, if you want to work with me as your coach in 2022, all you have to do is click the link in the comment section, in the show notes, wherever you're finding this, whether you're finding this on YouTube or podcast, click the link in the comments, and it will take you straight to my calendar, where you will be able to book a discovery call. I will ask you what's going on, and then you will tell me, and I will see if I can help you in one of my programs. It's that simple. Go ahead, click the link, and get on my calendar. And let's see what we can do in 2022. I can help you with those boundaries. I can help you. We can start working together tomorrow, okay? I can help you set those boundaries. I can help you craft conversations with your relatives so that you can stand firm in what you've decided to do, instead of being pulled from pillar to post, people eroding your boundaries, and you end up suffering. So don't hesitate. Book a call if you want to work with me going forward. We can start now. We can start in 2022. We can start whenever you like. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next week.